Well, my friends, the story of the Magi this morning prompts us to ask, who was it that finally got to see Jesus? Well, it certainly wasn't one of the players, King Herod and all of his attendants, because even though they had the scriptures at their fingertips, they had the light of the book to guide them, they didn't follow that light. They didn't follow through their lives the good word that they had. But the Magi that we read about were guided only by the light of a star, and they did find the child Jesus. Why? Because they came with attitudes of curiosity and reverence. And they were the ones who ended up finally finding the child Jesus, becoming one with God. Mere possession of the word doesn't help us unless we actually live it and walk by the light of the word. Well, what else can we learn from the Magi? Well, let's try numbers. We don't really know how many Magi came to see Jesus. We assume that it was 3 because we're given the 3 gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And so we always assume that there are 3. But for us this morning, my friends, the number really doesn't matter, because what matters is that we know that the Magi came in a community. They came in a group. They came together. They made that journey as a group rather than individually. And it is that way that Christ reveals himself to us. At Christmas time, he comes to a group, the angels come to a group of shepherds. He is revealed to a group of Magi. And all through his preaching, he preaches to a large crowd of individuals. Even after his resurrection, he appears, not just in one case to Mary Magdalene, but along the way, on the way to Emmaus, he appears to a small community. 2 of the disciples were walking. And it is in that way, as a group, that he reveals himself. And so we have him, again, revealing himself to large crowds, large multitudes. And it is in hearing the word together, living it together, and celebrating it together, that we ourselves find the Lord as well. Thomas Merton put it pretty well. He said, love is our ultimate destiny. Love, that connection with God in heaven. That's our ultimate destiny. And along the way, we try to find the meaning of life, not individually, but always with another. It is with another that we find. Now, the Magi certainly came not empty-handed. They came with their gifts that are quite famous. And they're very wise gifts given by wise men. They reveal who Jesus is, his royalty, his divinity, and they foresee, with a little bit of prescience, his ultimate untimely death. And so they come with gifts. And for ourselves this morning, we would ask ourselves, what wise gifts can we bring into 2016 for Christ and for each other? Sometimes the best presents are just being present. Sometimes the most valuable gift is time. Sometimes the most valuable gift is just something as simple as prayer. And so what do we have that we've learned from the Magi? We've learned that we have to walk the walk. We have to live our faith. We have to live in community. And we have to gift each other. And all of this comes together on this day in particular, this Epiphany, with a little story that old Henry wrote many, many years ago called The Gift of the Magi. Many of us have probably read that in grammar school or in middle school at least, and we know the general gist of it. Jim and Della are the characters. They're a young couple madly in love with each other, recently married, and Christmas rolls around, and they want to give each other the best gift they possibly can. Della has long, beautiful hair, which is her prized possession, but she has it cut off and sells it so that she can get enough money to buy a handsome chain for Jim's watch. And Jim's most prized possession is his watch, but he wants to buy very expensive combs for Della's long, beautiful hair, and so he sells his watch and buys the combs. And on Christmas morning, when it's revealed to each of them what exactly has happened, those gifts become far more than just the money that they were worth. Those gifts become a signal to each of them that they are willing to give up their most prized possession, the thing that they treasure most, in order to give to the other. They take on a greater greater meaning than just the monetary value. They bring to the fore their selfless love that they have every time they look at those gifts, even though for the time being they may be useless. And so, my friends, the Magi were probably, in recorded history, the first to give wise gifts, but they're certainly not the last ones to give wise gifts. What wise gifts can we give this year? Gifts to each other, gifts to the Lord. Epiphany marks the beginning of the end of our Christmas season. And may our season of giving never come to an end.